ya katikati hii. Kuna nyingine hapa. Dunga hapa. Nikushikia ama? Weka dunga hapa. Dunga huko. Nikushikie.
Ama unaweza nishikia.
Wacha nikushikie.
Punge power. I'm Comrade Lawrence. Na siku ya leo nataka niseme hivi. First, I want to start by recognizing an hero in this country. A Kenyan hero who goes by the name Mutuse. An MP from Kipwezi West. I want to congratulate that hero and recognize him. He is an hero who has impeached a sitting deputy president through imagination. And it worked. He's an hero. It will be written in our history. I want to say this. I will not take a lot of time. I heard some people saying President chose a person from minority. Sasa kwa hivyo hataweza kupata kura 2027. I want to ask you, who has told you the president has chosen his deputy because he wants votes? Nani amekwambia hivyo? Vile tunajua Ruto hawezi shindwa kujitafutia kura. Ruto alikuwa anataka deputy mwenye atamtafutia makura, hapana. Ruto alikuwa anataka deputy mwenye atamsikiza. In the 48 laws of power, never outshine your boss. That is what Ricky G did. And you see now where he is. Never outshine your boss. Never. It's in the 48 laws of power. Sasa Ruto alikuwa anataka yule mtu anamsikiza. Akimwambia left, ni left. Akimwambia right, right.
Akimwambia lia,
akimwambia inama, anainama. Ruto alikuwa anataka mtu mwenye ataleta kura. Waje niwaambie ukweli. Na hata kesho waje niwaambie, if you want to be wise, hata ukiandikwa mahali usikue mgerere ati you want to outshine your boss. Bro, utapoteza kazi. Utapoteza. Hata nyinyi watu wa media mko na wale watu wenye wako juu yenu. Musi nini cheza chini. Utapoteza kazi. When your boss says jump, don't say why. Say how high do you want me to jump? Just like my community, when somebody who is of your headset tells you something, you have to listen. Akikwambia wajana na huyo msichana, usiseme mbona, mwambie niache lini. That is the reason why bwana president alichukua Kindiki. That's the reason why. Nikimalizia. Now that we have a professor and a doctor, we expect the things to work. Already we are seeing things working. We already seeing things working in this country. You can't compare the economy of Uhuru and this one. Economy you do with dollars. Ile siku Ruto alichukua dola ilikuwa ngapi? Unataka mtu aniambie? Ilikuwa around 166. Sasa ni ngapi? Economy is measured in dollars. Economy iko sawa. Uga ilikuwa pesa ngapi? Kitu yenye tunasema kuna vitu tunafaa tu inyoshwe kwa hii serikali. Kuna vitu inafaa inyoshwe. Shisha. Si kitu mbaya. Unaona vile ilikuwa imeandikwa. Just let the priorities that were written in that draft booklet of shisha be done. Yani zile vitu zilikuwa zimeandikwa hapo. Sifanywe vile zimeandikwa kwa shisha. Isikuwe zimeandikwa peke yake. Hiyo kitu iko sawa. Na sahi I expected that mambo itakuwa sawa. Ile kisungumkuti imekuwa ikituambia maneno ya shareholders imetoka. Sahi Otieno anaweza pata kazi kwa urahisi. Kwa sababu sahi hatufuati maneno ya shareholders. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Mwalimu. Kuna ingine iko hapa. Siangushe. Kuna ingine hapa itaangusha. Kuna ingine ina.
Haya, Mukia lazima ikue hapo. Mukia, thank you Mr. Speaker. It is my golden pleasure to stand before you, honorable member of Bunge la Mwananchi. Mr. Speaker, I think this is my golden opportunity to air out of what happened today. In regard that I'm a member of the UDA party, the ruling party, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to declare here today that this is the end of the road for what we call shareholders. Mr. Speaker, it is now high time for people to embrace the doctor and the professor for what happened today, Mr. Speaker. Indeed, it is a great day, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, unajua mimi nimezoea kupiga hii Mukia juu, lakini leo niko na hard time. Mr. Speaker, tutafute diasi. Mr. Speaker, sai continue na kizungu kidogo yangu hii, Mr. Speaker. Sisi tumefurahi sana. And Kenya, it is now in the safe hands of the professor and doctor. And we know very well, Mr. Speaker, we have several problems, and you understand the constitution guarantees everybody to pay tax. But again, the same constitution defends each and everyone to demand for development. And indeed, today it have been proved. The Chief Justice was there. She explained well where and when and what to be done within the constitution framework, that everyone is now in the safe hands of Dr. William Samuel Ruto and Professor Abraham Kindiki. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, kiongozi amezaliwa. Kiongozi ni William Samuel Ruto. Na huyu kiongozi tunaona kwamba sasa motokaa ilikuwa imekwama. Motokaa ilikuwa iko kwa pancha. Na motokaa sasa ilikuwa imesimama na abiria walikuwa wanalalamika. Sasa kelele takwisha, Mr. Speaker. Na ninaona kwamba pahali tunaenda ni Mungu anajua. Pahali tuko sisi tunajua, na pahali tunatoka pia tunajua, lakini pahali tunaenda kwa majaliwa Mwenyezi Mungu, tunaona Profesa Kindiki na Dr. William Samuel Ruto watatufikisha pahali ambapo panafaa. Without wasting time, Mr. Speaker, in the meantime of time, mimi sitaki kusema maneno mingi, lakini furaha iko tele. Sijui nitasema namna gani. Maana nilipoona Mheshimiwa Profesa Kindiki akichukua Biblia na kusema ai Profesa Kindiki, niliona misuli zangu za mwili zote zinatiririka na damu kunyoka kila pahali. Nilikuwa na furaha tele sana. Kweli kiongozi amezaliwa. Na lisemwalo lipo na kama halipo laja. So kwa hivyo wananchi msikuwe na wasiwasi. Mulikuwa na wasiwasi mingi sana. Na Mr. Speaker, mimi ningependa kusema hivi. Hizi pea mbili ni mzuri kabisa. Yaani profesa na dokta. Sisi tungeomba Cherargei, Senator County, ile mchakato wa kuongeza miaka 7 ni kidogo. Ni kidogo sana. Lakini kama ni kidogo sana, tunaona iende 20. Hawa bana wagonge 40. Ili wakimaliza 20 tena tuwaongeze 20. Yaani 20 kwa mpigo. Ndio ziende sasa 40. Clean 40. Zikienda clean 40, tunajua ya kwamba maendeleo kitakuwa kila pahali. Na hii bunge la wananchi itakuwa imeinuka. Sasa hizo najua mimi nitakuwa na mjukumu moja. Na huyo mjukuu atakuwa anapata mahitaji ya serikali bila kustruggle na mambo mengi sana. Jambo lingine, Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi ningependa adani waongezeke wakuwe 5. Maana mmoja hatosheki sana. Shida ni mingi hapa Kenya. Mheshimiwa Rais tulimwambia mambo ya kukopa awache. Mambo ya kusema kwamba tena kuongeza ushuru, akiongeza ushuru mkate utapanda paka shilingi 100 na hali sio mzuri. Na akisema ya kwamba aende tena kukopa itakuwa hali ngumu, maana tayari tuko na deni. Kuongeza deni juu ya deni na kuwa deni maradufu mpaka jina la badilika, tunashindwa kuliita jina deni la aina gani. So kwa hivyo Mheshimiwa Speaker, sisi tunaona ya kwamba William Samuel Ruto kitu anachofanya cha kuleta wawekezaji. Tusikope, tusipandishe ushuru, lakini tulete wawekezaji. Hao wawekezaji waweze kurekebisha pale ambapo panatakikana kurekebisha. Kimfano, hiyo airport yetu ya Kenya ambao tunasema ni Kenyatta International Airport ni mzuri sana. Lakini kulingana na malengo ya sasa imepitwa na muda, lazima tuifanyie renovation ikuwe na ile muundo mbingu ya kisasa. Ndiposa watu wasiseme Kenya inakona airport mzee, yani inchi ya Rwanda hii ka inchi kadogo atikakuwe na airport mzuri kuliko sisi. Haiwezekani. Na ndiposa sisi tunasema kwamba adani akuje awekeze. Akiwekeza mimi nitakuwa nimezeeka, nikizeeka si nitakuwa na mtoto. Si mtoto atafaidika. Mtoto akifaidika si mtoto ni wangu na si ni Mkenya. So kwa hivyo tutakuwa tumefaidika. Msipofaidika wajukuu wenu watafaidika. Wajukuu wenu wasipofaidika vitukuu zenu zitafaidika. So kwa hivyo tuko sawa. Na si ni wa Kenya. Na sisi pia si ni wa Kenya. So kwa hivyo sisi nchi tunaiunda kwa mipango ya kimsingi kuelekea in the future. Na ndiposa Dedan Kimathi alikufa. Leo hii Dedan Kimathi hasherekei matunda ya nini? Ya independent na freedom. Lakini wanaofaidika ni nani? Ni sisi. Lakini Dedan Kimathi alikufa, aliaga, lakini alimwaga damu. Kwa hivyo hiyo ndio kitu tunasema foundation. Tunataka foundation ya watoto wetu. Ili wasije wakasema baba zetu walikuwa na chukua pesa na kukula tu, ushuru wanachanga na kukula tu, hata hawezi weka jiwe la msingi ambalo litatuendelesha baadaye. So kwa hivyo Mr. Speaker, Dr. and Professor, sisi tunaona kwamba hiyo kitu itaendeleza nchi vizuri, na mimi na congratulate Professor Kindiki. Bunge la Mwananchi liko nyuma yako. Bumper to bumper. Bempe to bempe. Sisi tuko nyuma yako. Na sisi tutafanya kazi na wewe. Maana tunajua wewe ni profesa na umehitimu na umetuka katika ngazi ya chini ukipanda paka juu. Yaani umekula vitabu na pia mambo ya kisiasa yako, profile yako ya siasa tunaona iko sawa na iko maradufu kabisa. Umetoka katika jamii ndogo. Sisi hatutaki mambo ya kupuza jamii ndogo. Muturukana anafaa, Mutarakaniti anafaa, Mutaita anafaa, Mumeru anafaa, wote tunataka kwanza ikiwezekana. Mkimaliza miaka zenyu 40 ambayo nimesema hapo awali, hii kiti iendee sasa Mutaraka na Muturukana. Hii mambo ingine atisiji hizi kabila kubwa ndio sinaleta mambo ya kuyumba na kuyumbisha nchi yetu. So kwa hivyo Mr. Speaker, mimi singependa kuharibia waheshimiwa wa bunge la Mwananchi muda mwingi sana, na ningependa wabunge wa Mwananchi letu, waheshimiwa wa bunge la Mwananchi, tuendelee kudumisha amani. Amani ni kitu ya maana sana, ili tuweze kufanya nini? Kupatia dokta na profesa nafasi mzuri ya kuendeleza na kujenga taifa letu. Bwana Speaker, kuna mtu yote? Sije nikachukua muda mwingi sana.
Thank you very much, SG. Usiangushe.
Na mimi ndio SG, mimi ndio nimechikilia document zote za bunge la mwananchi.
Secretary General.
Wanabunge amjambo. Wanabunge amjambo.
Hatujambo.
People power. People power. Wanabunge wamechoka. Kwa majina mimi naitwa Komisa Oyie and ningependa kuanzia na pale ndugu yangu ameachia. Ameongelea ile manifesto ya Kenya Kwanza. Sisi wenyewe hapa wananchi tunajiuliza ile manifesto yenye Daktari the President William Ruto alitumia kwa campaign nayo na the former Deputy President Gachagua na the whole team plus the current Deputy President Kindiki. Ilienda wapi? Likonywa na panya ama ni yenye tuko nayo? Kitu ya kwanza nauliza, I was having a good conversation with some comrades from Asia and they were telling me that Kenyans are the lowest paid laborers in Middle East. And this is the first government in history. Instead of creating jobs here back at home, we have decided to export labor. We the young people tunajiuliza, kesho yetu tutakuwa wapi? We are doing other analysis with China and India. And the why their economies are doing so well is because of their big population. Here back at home in Kenya, we are taking our young population out of our country to a point that we are asking ourselves, in the next 10 years or 20 years, will we be able to have this population we're having today? So, we young people, if the government of the day is not able, is not capable to create jobs here at home, it is unfortunate for us as a nation, in our state of the nation. The agriculture sector is dying. It is not working at all. And this makes us to be in a situation where the younger people, energetic, may not be able to go back to the land to produce whatever the things we are using at home. A bigger number of them are imported. We produce very little for our nation, what we are consuming. So on a bottom-up agenda that we had, we never had a bottom-up agenda on production. It was a bottom-up agenda on consumption, which was unfortunate. And that's why maisha inazidi kuwa ngumu kwetu. If the bottom-up agenda that the UD and Kenya Kwanza government had in place, they could have implemented it rightly from the production level, not the consumption side. It could have worked out. And that's why this agenda is flopping. On the education, it's also another sector in our country that today is crippling down before our eyes. It is so unfortunate for us as a nation. I'm working with the National Student Caucus, and we had mentioning of this case on Wednesday. It was hearing, not mentioning, but hearing of this case on Wednesday on the new funding model for our university and tertiary students. And we'll be having the judgment of the same next on 16th December. The judgment on the new funding model. Remember, this new funding model was suspended by the court, but the government of the day does not listen to somebody does not listen to the court rulings or not impeachment. That bad Kindiki being sworn in for almost 3 weeks. Injunction. So the government of the day really listens to injunctions that the courts are giving. So on 16th, the students here will tell you, the young people who are here, you people, you are our parents, our cousins, you all know that the new funding model is not working. We were being told that they were even selecting students on the gender. So we were asking them, are they funding the male students less and the female students more? Or what was the criteria on that if you are bringing the gender card when we are selecting the students for the funding? Again, we are being told on the region, let me speak Mr. Guy on this. On the region, we're being told that the student is coming from Turkana and maybe got a scholarship to Lenana here. So this student from Turkana was maybe on a scholarship. We assume that maybe being that he was here in Lenana will be able to be in band 5 or band 1. And back at home, hawajiwezi. So the new funding model on us, the education system is failing. The new funding model should be shut down. They should not implement it. La mwisho kwa education, the CBC implementation as well. We have been in a quagmire. We have been asking ourselves, the nation is confused. We don't know whether it is working or not. You are parents, mtatuambia how it is working for you in your schools and the pupils on the CBC. So our education, we need to review it. The stakeholders were not consulted extensively on the implementation of this. Mwisho nikimalizia on our state of our nation, industrialization. A country to move, a country to be able to sustain itself, we must value and give top priority to our industrialization. Today, I'm from the lakeside. The sugar belt, all the industries there are failing, they are crippling down. The cotton, hata mitumba tuna import. We don't produce. So how will we be able to create, how will we be able to run our economy without us giving industrialization top priority? La mwisho nikimalizia. Naomba wanabunge, anytime, any day we get an opportunity here. Na waomba hasa kwa sekta yetu ya education. Tuiangalie na tutie manani zaidi. We have children, we have pupils, we have students, both in high school, in tertiary, and even in primary, wherever they are. Let us take it our top priority. For a nation that is going to fail, they first do away with their system or the way of education. And then, lastly, nikipea speaker the mics, or the next speaker to come on stage, is on the tax, the house levy. Just a quote. During the colonialism or during the colonial era, we had the heart tax. But today we have house levy. House levy just like house tax, so that you don't have the hearts. So then it was heart tax. But today we have the house levy. You pay for a house, you are being cut to build the house, then you'll pay to stay in that house where the one you are taxed to be built for you. So we have heart tax without hearts. Otherwise, Mr. Board and Speaker, asante sana.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your insights. Shika polepole. Shika polepole. Shika hizo kwanza. Shika hizo tatu kwanza.
Hizi tatu kwanza. Haya.
Wacha nikusaidie hizi.
Haya. Thank you, Bwana Chair. Oh.
Honorable Speaker.
Yeah. Thank you, Bwana Chair. First, as a senior member of Bunge la Mwananchi, I would like to make it very clear on behalf of Bunge that in Bunge la Mwananchi, we allow people with diverse opinions. So I cannot stand here and allege that as Bunge la Mwananchi we have resolved. No, we have people with diverse opinion. The opinion that I'm going to give here is my own opinion, not that opinion of Bunge la Mwananchi. I'm going to comment on the state of the nation. It is unfortunate that our attention has been diverted from the real issues that we were having prior to the Gen Z demonstrations. The ruling elite have managed to divert our attention. There are issues that were really burning to us. We were looking for answers for them. The Gen Zs came up and they expressed these views. These were not just their views. They were views of even their fathers like me. I'm a father to Gen Zs. We could not express these views because it's like we were becoming hopeless. Our children came out and started expressing these views. Then the ruling elite have successfully diverted our attention. So please, I'm urging Kenyans, what is happening is a political process. That's why I'm not concerned about was Rigiji actually impeached, rightfully or not. That is an issue of UDA and Kenya Kwanza. I don't care about it. It's a political process. But I am urging members of the UDA political party or Kenya Kwanza Alliance, especially my brothers, the Kalenjin community. I hope that you are going to follow the example that Mount Kenya has set. Yes, it is painful to them. They are crying. They are licking their wounds, and others are celebrating. That is how political process normally is. There's always a winner and a loser. I am only urging members of the Kalenjin community, come 2027, when the Mount Kenya region also, their time comes now, of now showing their might through the ballot. You will not respond with arrows. You will not respond with spears. Please. There's no hate speech there. Yeah. There's no hate speech there. Yeah. You are going to remain sober. You are going to remain sober. Because this is a political process. Come 2027, you cannot dictate to somebody that you must vote this way. That if you don't vote this way, beba shamba yako hapa Eldoret, weka kwa mgongo, rudi nayo Kiambu. No. You are going to remain sober the way people who also feel that it was unfair to impeach Rigiji have remained sober. And the finals is coming in 2027. Believe me, we are going to see now the real final. So, already the country is divided. Let us not pretend. There's the Eastern and there's, okay, or I'm predicting. That is my prediction. This country is going to be divided, politically speaking. There's going to be the Eastern Bloc and there's going to be the Western Bloc. Come 2027, we are going to the ballot. Let us accept the results ambazo zitatokea. And I am urging other people who are in Azimio with me. We were in Azimio. We felt the pain after the 2022 Supreme Court ruling. We felt the pain. Now, why are we forgetting very fast? We are forgetting very fast the way the judiciary is manipulated. We feel that now that the shoe is on the other foot, now it is okay. Once they are through with Rigiji, once they are through with Mount Kenya, don't think that you will be seen differently. Once you play your role and the guy is through Amesha cross the bridge, he will also deal with you ruthlessly. Only that for us as Azimio supporters, we are not gracious like the Mount Kenya people. They don't fall into trap easily. For us, how will we have responded? We'll have been in the streets. And what will have happened? Our young men and women will have been shot dead. That's what exactly we will have done. And I agree with Mount Kenya people when they laugh at Azimio supporters and say that, okay, Azimio supporters, why can't you learn from us? Yes, we know we are not falling into that trap that you are expecting. So do not laugh at the Mount Kenya people. Hawaja demonstrate, Rigiji ameenda, so what? Yeah. Let us learn from them that you must not go to the street. There's a better way of expressing your feeling. Express your feeling through the ballot. And also to Mount Kenya people, I am also warning you. Come 2027, do not vote to punish Raila Odinga again. Do not vote to punish the Luos. Don't. When you are voting, know that it is your life. You are voting for issues, not voting that I want to vote so as to stop so and so. Already we are having that at the moment as we are speaking. There are people who are in Azimio or who are in Azimio. To them, they feel we must go and punish Kikuyus. Hii makosa ambao walifanya ilikuwa ni yao. Wakule nyanya yao this time. We want to give William Ruto 7 more years. Hata hiyo 7 years, no. Tunataka katiba ibadilishwe iwe 20 years. Yeah, it is good. Do you punish the Kikuyus by ensuring that taxes are going up? Do you punish the Kikuyus by ensuring kuwa foreigners wanachukua key infrastructure zenyu kama airport because you are punishing the Kikuyus? When things go bad, this shit, sijui ni shia, ni shit ama ni nini, I don't know what it is. It is hurting everybody. When you go to the hospital saizi, umepeleka mamako hospitali, yuko diabetic, atakufa hapo unless you can give 20,000 cash. If you can't give 20,000 cash kwa hospitali, babaka atakufa hapo. Does it matter whether you are a Kalenjin or you are a Luo? When things are not working, we all suffer. That's why when we are going to the ballot, please stop this issue of going into the ballot with emotions. Paka tusimamishe Mjaluo. Paka to punish Mkikuyu. When Kenya does well, everybody will do well. Like I'm giving example. During the Kibaki reign, when Kibaki won election, the community that actually opposed Kibaki most after the election was my own Luo community. But if you ask any Luo here, I will tell you. Ask any Luo. Ni wakati gani when Luo land experienced most rapid development? Atakuambia it is during Kibaki time. Why? Yet they did not vote for Kibaki. Because Kibaki came up with policies that were good for the whole country. Meaning that if policies are good for the whole country, it doesn't matter how you voted. It doesn't matter where you come from. You are going to benefit. The same way if a government comes up with bad policies, the way Ruto has bad policies, those bad policies are hurting even the Kalenjins. Are the Kalenjins being treated well in the hospitals? No, they are suffering like any other person. So next time, let us learn a lesson. And when we are voting, let us vote soberly. Let us stop this issue. I'm voting to stop this individual. I'm voting to punish this community. When you are punishing another community, you are bringing in bad governance because you feel that you are punishing another community. You are just hurting yourself. So please, Kenyan, this time let us learn a lesson. And please, let us also be patriotic. Let us be patriotic. That is why when Gen Z demonstrations were going on, I stood here and I opposed those demonstrations because I said that no, we voted for Ruto 5 years. We cannot actually wake up after 2 years to attack another election which we are going to spend over 15 billion and the economy was going to stop. So please, when you are voting, know very well, I'm voting and after 5 years, the decision I'm making, I have to stick with that decision for the next 5 years. If I vote in garbage, let me stay with that garbage kwa nyumba yangu, nisikio hii harufu for 5 years. Not kwa you vote in garbage, then after 1 year, this garbage must go. This garbage must go. And you are the one who brought in that garbage. Thank you.
Thank you, Mwalimu. Today we don't want to heckle.
Let me fix.
Today, if you know you are illiterate and you are heckling, tafadhali usijaribu hii mkutano.
Sawa. I want to use my hand.
Okay, sasa.
Saidia tu.
No, can you hold? You want to use your hand? Okay, sasa.
God is good, and all the time.
God is good.
Comrades power.
Power.
Mimi naitwa Oluoch Davis Odhiambo. I work for a political party which I'm not going to reveal. But from the outset, I will say I'm not a government operative, so you don't have to fear. First, today was a historic moment in this nation, and history was happening right here in the capital city of Kenya, Nairobi. Professor Abraham Kithure Kindiki from Tharaka Nithi has been sworn in as the third deputy president of Kenya. What does that mean to us? First, from the outset, I want to say that I'm not a good friend of impeached Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. But I also believe that of all the 11 grounds, only one was strong. That Gachagua, the Deputy President then, was only supporting his community. So I was worried, not for myself, but for my siblings back at home. Mimi nikaenda nyumbani, na wapata saa 11 wako kwa njia, wengine saa 10 wanaenda shule, alafu wasikie the deputy president anasema this country is for some people, wengine ni watoto wa jirani, wangoje cramps. Huyo mtoto akisikia hiyo na anaenda shule asubuhi, ata lose hope na shule. When the worst will happen, that the president dies, and this person is supposed to take over the presidency, and I'm a lean on one side of a country, and this country we have come so far from 1950 when the Mau Mau came and fought for independence, to 1982, to 1992 when we had multi-party democracy, and today I work for a political party courtesy of that, to 2002 when we removed a regime that was dictatorial, to 2010 when we promulgated a new constitution, to 2024 when the Gen Z came to the street and said, no, we acknowledge the gains that we have had as a country, but going forward, kuna kitu haiendelei vizuri. Dr. Kithure Kindiki was a fine gentleman when he was a senator and a majority leader at the Senate. But when he oversaw the killing of the Gen Z, I was taken aback. And Dr. Kithure Kindiki has never apologized. I'm waiting for his apology. The state of the nation. Adani deal. I don't have a problem with Adani. I don't have a problem with PPP partnerships, but the deal is bad. You cannot sell our airport for 30 years. But I've grown in this country and sijafika hata 30 years. Na nimekaa for long. I've been in this country for so long. Na sijafika 30 years. Sasa imagine huyu jamaa auze hii airport for next 30 years. To make it worse, after 30 years, we give them 18% of our shares. Forever. No, man. That one is a bad deal. Mr. Secretary General, that one is a bad deal. The second thing that I know is a bad deal is the funding model of the university. That's a bad deal. Because students are put into bands. This country, Mr. Speaker, you told us not to talk about tribes, but we are in a way still negative ethnically. And so, people at Elimu House, I don't know the name, will band some people with some names in that ministry well more than other people. And it can go either way. Today, the Ministry of Education can be from Kisii. Tomorrow, you may never know where he will be. Another thing, it has always been a country for the rich. The rich in the village will just call the Ministry of Education and tell, Ebu, bandu huyo mtoto wangu vizuri. The children of the poor will still suffer because of this funding model. So I don't support the funding model. I want to conclude because I've seen a battery of speakers who want to speak here. But the first speaker, when I came here, said that this assembly was here since the 1990s. So today, I think 30 years later, I stand on the shoulders of Mashujaa who have been standing here. And I want to say to the media who are here, these are the unfiltered voices of the people. And the media, the mainstream, and the podcast, and the social media should always be here. Even the NIS, if they're here, I don't care. But these are the unfiltered voices of the people. I want to say that as you sit here, the first speaker said, this is a sacred sport. This is a sacred sport. And one day, if you get chance, Mr. Speaker, build a statue here for all the people who stood at this ground and all the people who spoke here. I want to apologize and say that this is my first time here. I have been brought here by my friend and colleague, Commissar Oye, who is a colleague at the party. I want to speak to two things in conclusion. Power of the vote and support your revolutionaries. I've heard you people sometimes abuse your revolutionaries. This is a con man. I've read revolutionaries all over the world. Malcolm X, Kwame Nkrumah, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. All of them used to collect money to endeavor what they were doing. Support your revolutionaries and vote well. This is Davis Bin Oluoch from the shores of Lake Victoria.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Come. I know you are there.
Bunge la Mwananchi.
Nguvu mashinani.
Bunge la Mwananchi.
Nguvu mashinani.
After such powerful comrade has come from the stage, you find yourself shivering, and sometimes your English can be a different thing. But I want to start by reading the book of Deuteronomy chapter 1 verse 37. It says, because of you, Lord, because of you, the Lord became angry with me also and said, you shall not enter it either, but your assistant Joshua, son of Nun, will enter it. Encourage him, because he will lead the Israel and inherit it. You know, Mr. Speaker, Moses, I'm not preaching, but Moses was a very angry man, and it caused him not to enter the promised land. And because of that, Joshua, son of Nun, and Caleb had to lead the people to the promised land. That is what has happened to our former Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua. Sometimes, when you are a leader, your recklessness and your incompetency and just not knowing the way of handling things, handling power, and being able to protect the same power, it can cost you something. When some of the people were sent to go and survey where the promised land, they said that we found giants. The MP from Madira was, yeye ndiye alikuwa alirushiwa hiyo nini, akaambiwa kwanza table hiyo, na akaongopa because he thought that impeaching deputy president, it's a giant kind of a thing. But when Mr. Mutuse was given, he said, bring it on. Sometimes fear can stop you from doing great things. Fear can stop you from going to the next level. As a camper, today I'm here to celebrate hero, Mr. Mutuse, because of delivering the impeachment of the deputy president. Because as a nation, we were not moving forward. There was a problem. Those who have families, yeah, I have a family. When you are fighting with your wife, sometimes things don't move. So what you need, it is peace, sobriety, and cohesion for things to start moving. God says he blesses the unity of purpose. As a nation, Mr. Speaker, we need unity of purpose. And there are so many members who have come before me and they have lamented and complained. Where we are right now, Mr. Speaker, the state of the nation is that we need the change of our mindset. We need to start to change our mind. The other day, President was speaking and he said, let us stop negativity. We just need to change our mindset and support the government in power, unite our hands, support their ideas so that we may move forward as a nation. Right now, we are badly off. The education system is not well. The health system is not well. But let us give them time and let us support them so that they may put their house in order and push us forward. Mr. Speaker, as I finish, I want to say the collaboration of Professor Kithure Kindiki and Dr. William Samoei Ruto. For me, I feel like it is a good collaboration. It is a good team. It's going to deliver, and we are going to start seeing change in this nation. Kenya has always been a very wonderful nation. It has always been a country which will surprise you by so many things. Some of the things we do in Kenya, they have never been done anywhere. Raila Amolo Odinga alifanya nini? Alijiapisha pale. No one has ever done that. Kenya is a very beautiful country. It's a very amazing country. Ukitaka hakuna aliingia kwa Guinness Book of Records. No one jiapisha dunia mzima. Now we have impeached the deputy president and we will continue to do great things. The other time also Gen Z walikuja kwa barabara and they did amazing things. So Kenya is a beautiful country. Let us embrace it. Let us support whatever we have and we are going to go far as a nation. God bless Kenya. God bless this country.
Thank you, Fred. Thank you, Fred. Thank you, Fred. Kiberenge, I know you are there, sir. Just hold on. I know you are there. Okay, sir. Let me finish with the West first. I'll come to you.
Nataka nichangie mswada ambayo yuko leo, the status of the nation. And it is very sad in our country that we can be celebrating mediocrity in this country. We have lowered ourselves as Kenyans so much. We have stooped too low that we can celebrate mediocrity. It is very painful. It is paining that a very young person can stand here and say, Mutuse is a hero. A young person, because Mutuse can be a hero if we pushed for legislation to make a policy for the benefit of the people. That is when an MP can be a hero. A policy in health, a policy in education, a policy in labor, employment, and so on. That is when an MP, we can celebrate him as a hero. But not an MP who pushes a motion to settle their political scores as big people, as the political elites. That one cannot be a hero. And that one we cannot celebrate him as a hero. And I want to say this. Rigathi Gachagua was impeached on 9 grounds in the National Assembly. When it went to the Senate impeached him on 5 grounds and dismissed 6. One of the grounds upon which he was impeached was corruption. And another one was tribalism. And MPs were yelling in parliament and saying, to end corruption in Kenya, Rigathi Gachagua must go. To end tribalism, Rigathi Gachagua must go. So today I want to believe, and I'm happy that Kithure Kindiki has been sworn in. So from today, corruption has ended in this country. We have finished corruption. From today, tribalism has ended in this country. Because tribalism started with Rigathi Gachagua and ended with Rigathi Gachagua. Corruption started with Rigathi Gachagua and ended with Rigathi Gachagua. So from today, I believe that Rigathi Gachagua was a stumbling block to development. Now from today, we want to see Dr. William Samuel Ruto implementing the development that Gachagua prevented him from implementing. All the projects that Uhuru had started in Western region where I come from, and those projects stalled because of Rigathi Gachagua. We want them to start tomorrow. Kila kitu yenye ilisimama kwa sababu ya Rigathi Gachagua. Corruption simeisha leo. Imeishia hapo KICC. Ukabila simeishia hapo KICC. Si kila kitu imeishia hapo leo. Si tuliambiwa Gachagua ndio stumbling block ya kila kitu. Na imeishia hapo leo hapo. So Kenya is now a free corruption country. Kenya is now a free tribalism country. So from today, I have to take excuse. We don't want any excuse from Dr. William Samoei Ruto. We want to see him delivering on all the promises he made. He promised us a double-digit economy. A double-digit economy. We want that economy. He promised us 1 million jobs per year. And for 2 years, Rigathi Gachagua has prevented him from giving us 1 million jobs per year. We want to see what those 1 million jobs. Now that Rigathi Gachagua is out. And I want to add and say this. I want to add and say that this cycle of the political elites subjecting us to non-issues must stop. When Uhuru was president and he became an enemy of Ruto, he ran to Low Nyanza to use the people of Low Nyanza as a shield against the Kalenjin. When Ruto is in power, now he has created enmity with the Central Kenya people. He has ran to Low Nyanza to use them as a shield. This cycle of using the people of Low Nyanza as a shield must stop. The people of Low Nyanza must be respected. Watu wa Low Nyanza lazima waheshimiwe. Sio kila mara wao wanatumiwa kama shield. Unapokosana na huyu, Uhuru alipokosana na Ruto, alikimbia Low Nyanza kuwatumia kama shield. Ruto amekosana na hawa, amekimbia Low Nyanza. This cycle of people, presidents rushing to Low Nyanza to use them must stop. It must stop. The people of Low Nyanza must be respected. They must be respected. Kwa sababu hatuwezi kuwa tunaendelea na hiyo cycle hivyo. Ni cycle mbaya. And these supremacy battles between Nyanza and Mlima Kenya must end. It is not good. Sisi kama watu wa Mlembe Nation, watu kutoka Western, we do not compete with any community in this country. We have no supremacy battle with any community. But these supremacy battles between the people of Mlima and the people of Low Nyanza. And especially when there is a Kalenjin president, is when he sets Kikuyus against laws for a supremacy battle. And we are seeing it right now again. It must end. For the last few days, tulisahau zile vitu ambazo zinatuhusu. Tulisahau mambo ya afya ambayo yanahusu sisi. Tulisahau mambo ya elimu. Mambo ambayo yanahusu sisi tuliweka kando. Concentrate on an issue. Ya nani? Ya Rigathi Gachagua, which is an issue to ordinary people. Kwa sababu mambo ya Rigathi Gachagua, wewe ordinary citizen mwenye umekaa hapa haikufaidi. Hata wachague nani deputy president, hata wachague Rachel, hata wachague nani, haikuhusu. It doesn't concern you. Mambo ambayo yanakuhusu ni mambo ya elimu, mambo ya afya, mambo ya ukulima. Ndio mambo ambayo yanahusu sisi. Na mambo ya environment ndio mambo ambayo yanahusu sisi. Sasa kwa sababu tumemaliza hii mjadala ya Gachagua, turudie mambo ambayo yanahusu mwananchi wa chini. Tuanze sasa agenda mahali tuliachia. Accountability, we must demand it beginning today. We must demand for end to tribalism in public appointments beginning today. We must demand that the new education funding model must be scrapped so that we go to the old funding model which was good for this country. Without the old funding model, some of us would not have gone to university. But this new funding model is meant to discriminate some people. It is total confusion. We must demand that it should be scrapped. Finally, Mr. Speaker, let me say this. Let me say that now that Rigathi Gachagua has gone, We must go back to our default settings and do what is necessary. Sisi hakuna kitu tunatarajia kutoka kwa Dr. William Samoei Ruto. We don't need a road from him. We don't need health. We don't need anything because there is nothing he will provide. Nothing. Expecting anything from him is expecting nothing. You are wasting your time. Don't expect anything from him. Sisi tunampatia hiyo 3 years kufika 2027. Ile kitu anafikiri anaweza uza hata kama ni Ijibanji, let him sell. Kila kitu. Kama ni JKA, kama ni mulima hiyo mulima Kenya auze, kama ni Lake Victoria auze. Everything he wants to sell, let him sell. But we are giving him only 3 years up to 2027. Na maybe Mungu anaweza kutuonea huruma atulete blessing before 2027. Hiyo ni mambo ya Mungu. Hiyo ni mambo ya Mungu. Na Wakenya wengi I know wanaomba hivyo. Wakenya wengi najua wanaomba hivyo. So, hiyo ni maoni yangu, upende usipende, wewe utakuja ufanye nini? Utoe yako. Na pia hapa mtu anatoa maoni yake. Kama yenye nimetoa ni personal. Sio maoni ya bunge la mwananchi. We have not set to resolve that. Kwa sababu nilisikia mwenzangu mwingine akisema hapa, tumeresolve kama bunge kusupport Kindiki. Hiyo ilikuwa maoni yake binafsi. Hapa bunge kila mtu ako na nini? Maoni yake binafsi. Kwa hivyo I want to tell the media people, msiende na impression kwamba bunge la mwananchi wamefanya resolution ya kusupport Kindiki. Some of us are not in that. Some of us are not in that mediocrity. Some of us just want this government to deliver or ship out. Nothing else. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sawa, dakika tu. Shika moja moja. Shika hivi.
Asante sana Bwana Spika. Bunge power. Bunge power. Meli imeng'oa nanga. Kama uko nje, tafadhali karibu tuanze safari pamoja. Hii ni ujumbe kwa Kindiki, naibu rais mteuliwa, ama the so-called the new deputy president. This is an information and I want it to shoot direct to the annex house, the one in charge, His Excellency the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, ya kwamba Mr. Kindiki, we have celebrated enough. We have sung so many songs. We have jumped. We have done all that we could to express our joy. But it is not easy as you think. It is not easy as you think that everybody is happy for you. The heart of peace, actually, according to other tribal culture, it has been cast. Mr. Kindiki, it is not easy. Don't accept it with 2 hands. The Almighty God that you believe in, I don't think if it will continue. Politics and professionalism will not work. Either you choose to be a professor or a politician. If you follow the history of those who have been in that office, some of them were teachers, but they ended up being farmers. Some of them were thieves, but they ended up being other things. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Kindiki, you should also be ready for the person you are going to work with. William Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya, is not that good as you think. William Ruto, we will not forget all what happened 2007. Mr. Kindiki, I will still repeat, it is not easy as you think. William Ruto is not your friend today. He is your boss. William Ruto, you are not a lawyer for William Ruto. He is still your boss. Mr. Kindiki, you should be ready for the devil activities. Mr. Kindiki, you should be ready to accept any signature. Be it corruption, be it any forceful abduction, any order by Sudi.
Mr. Kindiki, I don't think even 2027 you will get there if you are still the deputy president. It is not easy as you think. This is a message to Mr. Kindiki that everybody from Mount Kenya, only half are happy, but be ready. But what I would urge you, leave alone. Can you put your educational experience aside? Either you be a politician or you be a puppet. What you should do, the only advice as I conclude, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Kindiki, I personally, as a Kenyan kutoka bunge la wananchi, anza kujipanga polepole vile Ruto alijipanga 2032. Kuwa kwa debe, usiachilie hivyo, usimame rais 2032, tuone kama utapenya. Usiachilie hivyo, kuwa strong, ukikuwa deputy president, tunatarajia you form a political party, usimame rais, tukuunge mkono 2032. Asante sana.
Thank you very much. Usiache mara moja. Sawa, asante. Nikushikie? Nikushikie. Wacha nikushikie.
Ausikia?
Hamu unataka kushika?
Ni okay sasa.
Okay, sasa. Sema tu kidogo.
Yes, bunge oye. Bunge oye. Okay, yangu si mengi. Tongea tu na Kiswahili. Si mengi vile. But let's spend maybe 2 or 3 minutes na nitaongea na Kiswahili. Kwa kusema ukweli, hii si muda ama si wakati ya kucelebrate ama ukastigate. Because the reality is, kwa kusema ukweli, hata kama ni Kindiki yuko na Gachagua mengatuliwa, kwa kweli, unless tomorrow you wake up, you go work. There's no difference in your life. Hakuna wakati yeyote atakuletea chakula kwako nyumbani, akuyo kulishia bibi watoto yako, unless you wake up and you go work. Tunaelewana hivyo? The reality is, there's those who possibly they celebrate because so-and-so is gone. We've been in this country for quite some times. I was there before Multi-Party came. Now when Multi-Party came, actually, we really celebrated so much. It's not that I'm against Multi-Party because if there is, kama kuna wale watu na appreciate, ni wale watu walipigania what you call Multi-Party. In fact, those the heroes na wale, those people we need actually to celebrate. Lakini kuna kitu moja alituambia, siasa mbaya, maisha mbaya. Personally, I may talk of politics, but I prefer kuongea what you call social and economic politics. Maybe within this platform, chochote naweza ongea, inaweza fika pahali, maybe to the policy makers. Kama Kenya, everybody can have enough pesa ya kujisustain kwa maisha. In simple terms, nasema hivi, kama tuna ile maskini, ile low levels za poverty, hata ingekuwa na haja ya siasa mingi. Because kusema ukweli, we have enough resources in this country. Sisi si wengi. Tuko about 52 million. Ukienda pali kama China, they almost 2 billion. Na China haina shida like what is ailing also in Africa and Kenya in particular. Lakini we've got enough resources. Now which kind of resources? Naongea juu yake. We have RAD. And we have human resource. Why should you be importing food? Vitu kama wheat, rice, and the rest. If you open up those lots, it's a good policies for the government because you have even ministry for RAD, can even do what you call, they open up what you call schemes. You give people incentives or RAD. People are willing to work. Now the policies are only driven by the government. We use the human resource. Why don't you train our people? And then we market that one as a riba. Manake kuna nchi mingi sana zingetaka our expertise. You have very, very bright people in Kenya. Anyway, we reform our education system. Actually, kitu moja nafurahia ni CBC. I've been an 844 and they even fought the old system. But the reality is, ile kitu ituvovo ilifanya, it's ile report of education system. So you can manage to develop the human resource, if possible even export that labor, more so the technical field. I'm not against the labor export and all this. It's one of the human resource that you can benefit on, and you can really benefit more out of that. Sina mengi manake kuna wengine nataka kuongea. Asante sana.
Thank you very much. 2 minutes.
Bunge Power, I want to speak about few things. Dakika kidogo tu. My dad here, because ni mzae kidogo, amesema wanasiasa hawezi tusaidia ama siasa haiwezi tusaidia, but I want to correct that because these are the policy makers. Today we are changing the funding model of the university because of the politicians. Today we are moving from NHIF to SHA because of the politicians. And if we put the wrong people to the office, that's why we are suffering. That's why nikiangalia nyuso zenyu mumekasirika, because some of you hata hamjakula lunch. Hiyo ni ukweli. Because things are not okay. Things are not okay as we are speaking. So,
I think we withdraw that.
yes.
I think we withdraw that. These are honorable members and you are out of order.
No, I withdraw that. But my point is, there's a lot of trouble in the country because of political instability, and the economy is not doing well. So we are saying politicians are the ones that are determining what you will eat and what you will wear. So if you put the right people, in power, you will do the right thing. If their policies will support what you are doing, they will do. You will prosper as people. So wanasiasa ni watu ambao wakikuwa na maono mazuri tutaenda mbali. But as we are speaking now, wanasiasa, they are focused on their stomachs, and that's why we are suffering. So tunasema nini? Tunasema tunataka siasa ambayo it will change our future and not cripple our future. And a politics that will not be influenced from outside powers that will control us. Of course, when you argue with the bottom up, it was a good model that Dr. William Ruto was coming with. But because that seat is controlled by someone else, that is my opinion, he has changed the tune, and today we are suffering. There's no bottom up anymore. So I want to address Kenyans and people who are in this bunge la mwananchi. Yakamba, when we stand in this ground, we are advocating for accountability in the government. And now that there is no accountability, there's no people to put the government in check, we are the one to stand here and say that. Because people like Wangari Maathai, they walk in these streets naked because they fought for this place, they fought for Uhuru Park and other conservative forests in this country because they want to sell them and to build structures in them. So if you will be cowards and not speaking your rights, you're going to lose it. And the power is in your vote. The power is in your vote. When you come to vote, don't vote with your stomach, vote with your head. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. May I now welcome President Gaucho?